Well, I may as well not put it off any longer. Let's take a look at the show that I'm working on right now. Alice in Wonderland, the musical. There are, I believe, a number of stage adaptations of Alice in Wonderland. This particular one has a book by Sally Netzel and music by Beatrice Wolfe, and is subtitled A Stage Magic Play. So I'm the musical director for a production of this musical, and I was special musical assistance, which basically means musical director without actually being billed as musical director, for a production of this musical 5 years ago. This is Alice in Wonderland. It's another adaptation of Alice in Wonderland in the typical way that adaptations of Alice in Wonderland usually works, which means that they use the frame story of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, but incorporate elements of Through the Looking Glass. In this particular version, we have the White Rabbit, we have the birds, we have the caterpillar, we have the Cheshire Cat, we have the Mad Tea Party, we have the Queen of Hearts, we have the Knave of Hearts. We don't have a lot of the literal elements of Through the Looking Glass. For example, we don't have any of the characters per se from Through the Looking Glass. However, we do essentially have the White Knight from Through the Looking Glass. The character of the Knave of Hearts in this musical is essentially a combination of the Knave of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland and the White Knight from Through the Looking Glass, but his character is basically that of the White Knight, but he has the name of the knave and he fulfills the role of the knave in that he has these tarts that the Queen of Hearts ostensibly baked and that he ostensibly stole. The Queen of Hearts is actually a combination of the Queen and the Duchess from Alice in Wonderland, with some elements of the Red Queen from Through the Looking Glass thrown in there as well. Now, for most of the visual versions of Alice in Wonderland, they try to incorporate a theme that they try to have everything stick to. The theme of this particular show is Nothing is Impossible, which is one of the Knave songs and a theme that keeps coming back throughout the musical. This is not, however, the world's most consistent theme, but it's Alice in Wonderland, that's kind of par for the course. In fact, this musical actually does capture the zaniness and the inconsistencies of the characters of the original story quite well. The songs in particular add a lot more to the characters. The Caterpillar song called Smile makes him out to be this sort of stuffy adult that's telling children what their place is, and it actually works really well for his character. Which is not to say that all the music in this musical is good, because a lot of it isn't. This seems to be a default musical style for this musical. So many of the songs sound alike, so many of them really don't have any point and really aren't even all that entertaining, and the lyrics in general are pretty sloppy. There are a few good songs. For instance, they set the Jabberwocky to music, and that is actually pretty cool. Smile is pretty entertaining, and the Rabbit song called A Muddled Fuddle is also pretty fun. But the song that's supposed to be the introduction to Wonderland, the main theme, is awful. However, this musical is one that works pretty well for children, and it's one that you can have a lot of fun with, especially with the characterizations. It's silly, it's light, it's fun to work on. It's Alice in Wonderland. If you're looking for a musical of Alice in Wonderland, this is a pretty good one, despite the less than stellar music. As far as this particular production goes, it's going to be a really good production, I think. We got some really talented kids in this cast. They're doing some wonderful things with the show. As for the musical as a whole, on the worth meter, I would probably give this a worth a YouTube search. I mean, obviously I would like people to come and pay money for our amateur production, but I'm not sure it's quite worth all amateur productions. And that's it for me. Until next time, this is the Scottish Reviewer. We're all mad here.